What's good? Welcome back to CJ Sports Corner, and it's your boy CJ, of course, and rebooting the sports page for his YouTube channel. Subscribe if you like content, you like sports. Basically today we're gonna talk about this quarterback class. You know, who probably had the biggest impact day one, who can be a Dak Prescott type of quarterback, and be a shocker. Not necessarily has to be year one or from the jump, and you know, who's the dark horse, the late round guy, and all that type of stuff we get into. But you know, I'm gonna start with you know, some teams that probably need a quarterback. You got Cleveland at one, who's probably going to take Myles Garrett, who I'm about to watch do an interview on Mike and Mike this morning. Talk about him in another video, but he looks the part. You got the Jets, I think they're 6. Arizona could take one from what I hear. New Orleans, or you know, could look for Drew Brees back up. He's getting older. San Diego's the team that could be looking for a quarterback. Eagles, the Vikings are in the first round, but that's a team that could be looking to move in the first round for a quarterback. I heard Teddy Bridgewater is doing a lot better. Houston is looking for a quarterback, but it's a little asterisk by them. So there's some teams out there, you know, that's looking for a quarterback. New York can look for a backup for Eli. I know they just drafted a young quarterback. I don't know how they feel about him. Cleveland at 12 again. So some teams that, you know, looking for some developmental quarterbacks to bridge from a superstar quarterback such as Eli Manning, Phillip Rivers, to be the bridge and be the tutor and learn and teach these other young guys. And I think this is the perfect draft for that. There's a lot of guys in this draft that needs to sit on the bench. I think mostly all of them, and learn from a veteran and take time and take more of the Aaron Rodgers route. But talk about Deshaun Watson. I think they overanalyzing Deshaun Watson, in my opinion, and for the simple fact that, you know, I think they just looking at him too hard. They nitpicking him too hard, trying to find things that's wrong with him. Seems like a nice guy, stand-up guy. I heard he went to a bar or something, and I think that's affecting people. Especially when, you know, a guy like Vince Young really messed it up for young African-American quarterbacks or black quarterbacks. I don't like to use the term African-American, but black quarterbacks, by him going to Vegas after games with the Tennessee Titans, and you know, him being out there and partying, and I think that's an asterisk, especially we had Justin Blackman being in bars, and it gets a reputation, so people start to look at you different. But like I said, he you know, he did what he was supposed to do versus Alabama 2 years in a row. Came up straight the first year, came back, advanced the loss with a lot of pressure on his back. You know, he was trying to make plays and try to force the action, and Clemson got in trouble. But you know, I think the biggest task for him is going to be the game speed and making tight throws and tight windows under a lot of pressure. You know, can he do that? Can he withstand the game speed? Can he withstand the pressure? And that's the question for every quarterback that comes in the league. And how far along is he mentally? Is he ready to run an offense? Is he ready to be the vocal leader in the huddle? I mean, it's a lot of different questions that you know, he has to answer. And each quarterback on here has to answer. But I think if I put my money on drafting anybody in the first round, it would be Deshaun Watson, because the composure that he showed, you know, playing against the top teams every year in the ACC, which is bubbling, and being able to defeat Florida State, being able to defeat Florida, Alabama, and other tough teams and going on the road. So I think he's the most battle-tested one. And if I go 2, it would have to be DeShone Kizer. You know, he had a Vernon Golston, or whatever to do, Everett Golston, you know, who was on fire the year they played Alabama in the national championship. And, you know, for DeShone Kizer to really dethrone the man, you know, I like him a lot. But when Will Fuller and all that talent left, he struggled. And I think people don't look at it that way. He's a big physical guy, big arm, and he's going to take some time to learn. Third will be Trubisky, you know, just off talent. But I think it's a Ryan Tannehill alert on him. He only had like 1 year of starts. It would have been better for him to stick at UNC. I wouldn't trust him now with a first-round pick at all. You still see Ryan Tannehill struggling to this day. He was a receiver at Texas A&M. had 10 starts at or like 10 starts at A&M at quarterback, and he still hasn't figured it out. And I think Trubisky's going to face the same thing. His guys they trying to pump up and move up, similar to Blaine Gabbert, similar to Blake Bortles. These guys they want to pump up and look and just look hard at him and say he has the arm, he has the intangibles, but he hasn't been in any high pressure situations. You know, he ain't played at the high level. He hasn't beat Alabama. He hasn't performed well versus upper echelon teams. So he's buy at your own risk, in my opinion. I think he's the most riskiest quarterback on here. And, you know, you talk about Pat Mahomes, and, you know, he's a guy who comes from Texas A&M who, you know, from a system that nobody has ever succeeded from in the NFL. You know, and he has a lot of things going to have to be done with him. You know, how to run the huddle, how to do a 3, 5, 7-step drop from under center, footwork, and just doing a real pro-style offense. Learn how to do play action because they don't run the ball at Texas Tech. Learn how to operate under the center. He has a lot to learn and catching up to do. But if I had to say one thing was the most sure thing, anything in this draft ain't the sure thing. I think the most solid prospect would just be Deshaun Watson. You know, who would be the most shocking? It would have to be like who I respect just to, you know, rise and people are not really looking at. It would have to be I would probably go with Deshaun Kaiser. I think potentially in the right situation, I think he can rise above and fulfill his potential. I think he has the biggest boom or bust as well. Either he's gonna be really good or he's not gonna be as good. And I think you could fit Trubisky in that same category. I think they connect with him. Most likely to be a bust, I think it's Mitch Trubisky. But I could be wrong. But with this small sample and knowing how he's going to acclimate, especially I think out of all the quarterbacks in this draft I can think of, the top guys, I think he's going to have the most toughest time with the talent level jump. You know, he has the arm and he can run. He's big and strong. He's going to go to the right situation with somebody really going to retool him, similar with Pat Mahomes, and rework him and just build him from the ground up a little bit. But I think he can be really good as well, to be honest. It's going to take time, and hopefully some team doesn't get desperate and throw him in the fire. You know, dark horse, I would say Chad Kelly. You know, he's not getting drafted because a lot of issues off the field, but I think he's draft for a dark horse. But the guy that's going to have the immediate impact, if anybody, I think it's going to be Deshaun Watson in the right system. You know, hopefully it's Houston for him, but Bill O'Brien likes, you know, pocket passers, strictly pocket passers. So we'll see. We gone. Appreciate it. Look for another NFL draft video coming soon.